Hey everybody, this is Joe Betar, Executive Director of Houston Safari Club Foundation. Welcome back to this week's episode of Hunting Matters. We've got a special guest with us this week, Mr. John Toomey. I can't give Mr. Toomey a name or a label because he's done so much in his life. So we're going to talk about a lot about that today, and we're really honored to have you here, Mr. Toomey. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I guess where do we start? We start at the beginning, I guess. So how old of a gentleman are you this year?
97.
97 years old. So you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot in your lifetime. Just kind of curious, do you watch the news and keep up with the news today?
Yes.
What do you think about what's going on with our country and Iran right now?
I'm worried.
Are you worried?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a kid that's in the Navy. Luckily, he's not over there right now. He was over in that area for quite a while, but he's back in California right now, over in Coronado. So hopefully he didn't get called up into that mess, and they keep him on land base. But yeah, it's concerning for everybody. I hope everyone stays safe and it all turns out okay. But so where are you from originally?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay. And what did you do growing up there? Did you hunt and fish or outdoors or farm or?
As soon as I could walk, I left. I got here in 1930. I was born in 28 and got to Houston in 1930.
Wow. What was Houston like back in 1930?
I was a little kid, but it was a lot different. You had just very friendly, closer. The main street, you parked right off the street into the businesses and one thing the other. So it was very different operation than it is now.
Yeah. And how old were you when you came here?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. So you've been in Houston ever since?
Yeah.
Wow. What is it that, I like to kind of dig into people's past and kind of find out what made them who they were. You've obviously done a lot of great and different things in your life. What was your family involved in Houston? Why did you guys come to Houston early on?
Why did I come to Houston?
Uh-huh.
My father was an attorney,
Okay.
and there wasn't any work in Minneapolis during the Depression.
Yeah.
I mean, he heard about Houston being a up-and-coming city, so he moved down here.
Yeah. How shocking is it to see what it is now versus back then?
Oh, tremendously different.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So you've obviously run a lot of businesses. You've been involved in a lot of different work areas and things like that. What is it? Your dad was an attorney. Growing up, my dad was an engineer, very good man, but very regimented. Always had a schedule. Always had a pen and paper in his pocket. Very organized. Growing up in your early days in Houston, with your family, what were some of the things that your dad and your mom instilled in you as far as your future? Work ethic?
Well, I don't know. I went to school about 3 blocks from my house, so I walked to school. It was all very close.
Mm.
And Dad naturally would take us to Galveston was a big thing in those days. We'd go to Galveston and enjoy things down there. But Dad was pretty much a workhorse, and he spent a lot of hours in the office and so forth. I had a brother, and he liked to hunt, and he used to have a little single-shot 22 short, little tiny shells.
Oh, yeah.
And I would borrow it without him knowing it in his shells. And about 2-3 blocks from my house was the bayou, Braised Bayou. And the railroad tracks went over it, and the trestle went right over the top of it. So I'd take the 22 and go down and try to shoot some turtles. So that's my enjoyment.
I did the same thing. I did it with a pellet gun and my grandfather's 22. He had one of those old bolt actions that you'd load up the cylinder. It'd hold about 10 of those little shorts, or I don't think they held 22 long. I think it held shorts. And I grew up in North Louisiana, so we'd sneak out and go to the bayou and shoot turtles and things like that as well. So we definitely have that in common. And then that kind of graduated into trying to chase rabbits and squirrels around North Louisiana with not much turkey and deer back then, when I was growing up.
Capital Farm Credit understands that there's something about the outdoors that pulls you in. Could be the fresh air, the colors, the smells, the animals, the freedom. It's all just a part of who you are. And with our recreational land loans, you can purchase land for whatever outdoor pursuit you please. That way, the outdoors won't just be in your soul, it'll also be in your name. To learn more, visit capitalfarmcredit.com. Together, we're better.
But and so, as you grew up, you went to school at University of Houston.
University of Houston,
Okay.
and graduated in 50, the business, and 51 in law.
It's 50 in business and 51 in law.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot in 2 years. Was that? Did you always dream of wanting to become a businessman or a lawyer, or what was the plan?
Well, lawyer. My brother became a lawyer. He graduated in the first class at University of Houston in 50.
Okay.
I was in the second class at Houston in 51. So we had always planned on forming a law firm, in which we did.
Yeah, you and your brother.
Yeah, and,
Okay.
my father.
And your father. So what was it? Toomey, and Toomey, or
Yes,
really?
It was the joke. My brother became a lawyer. They called it Toomey and Toomey. And I said, well, I insisted on having my name on it, too. So they called it Toomey and Toomey. And the judges got a big kick out of it.
I bet. What kind of law did y'all practice?
I practiced primarily probate and estate and real estate.
Okay. All right. And I guess your dad and brother did other areas, and so you guys kind of covered all the bases.
Well, not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah. How did you like practicing law?
I enjoyed it. I really did. I practiced, I guess, for 30 years, about 15 years, just strictly law. And then at that point, I got into other things besides law, and law was kind of
Yeah.
half the work, and then other things the other half.
Right. Now, not being an attorney, not having any law school experience or anything like that, did you have to go to court in those days?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you litigated and did all those things. What was one of your favorite things about being an attorney?
Oh, I represented Catholic charities
Okay.
and on their adoptions.
Really?
So I handled about 100 adoptions a year.
So I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. So I was adopted through the Catholic Church way back in '64. My sister, who's adopted from a separate family, she's 9 years older than me, was adopted through the Catholic Church as well, up in Northeast Louisiana. That's
How about that?
it's ironic that you did that kind of work with Catholic Charities, and
That was a real pleasure. That was a real happy thing.
well, it was it was a blessing for me, obviously, and for my sister and my mom as well, who wanted kids and couldn't have them. And as I got to be a teenager, what happened was she goes, if I'd have taken that adoption pill, I wouldn't have to deal with all this mess when you were young. But anyway, she ended up with me through the Catholic Church. So that's really ironic that you worked with that group. Did you ever represent anybody famous?
No.
No.
I have a very wealthy family, Longorios, from Mexico, I guess, one time, and they were very appreciative and so forth, and invited me to their estate and all this kind of stuff. But I guess that'd be about the biggest.
Yeah. That sounds like kind of a big deal to me. So you were president of the University of Houston Law Alumni Association, and then you were later president of the University of Houston Alumni Association. When you were getting involved with those, was that because you wanted to give back? Was that a networking deal? How did you get involved with those fraternal organizations?
Well, I belonged to a school, a fraternity they called TKS, and TKS had Jack Valeni, Johnny Goen, and they're both politically inclined.
Yeah.
And when we got graduated, then they worked with the alumni. Johnny Goen became chairman, or not chairman, director of whatever you want to call it, of the alumni. And so because of that, I got involved in it, and that's how it happened.
Did you ever have any aspirations about getting involved in politics?
No.
Not your cup of tea, huh?
When I got through with the alumni, I was happy.
Yeah, that was it. You know, we were talking about the church a minute ago. I was on the vestry for a couple of years at the church, and I was never so glad to get off the vestry because I didn't want to see the business and the money behind the church. You know, you get in some of those roles like that. It's like, okay, I've done my time, I've done my duty. I want to move on from here. Hunting Matters is presented by Copandero Indoor Archery Pistol and Rifle Range, your premier indoor archery pistol and rifle shooting destination. Located in Oak Ridge North, right next to the Woodlands, Copandero offers two 25-yard pistol ranges, a 100-yard rifle range, and a 25-yard archery range. Whether you're honing your skills or just starting, Copandero has everything you need, including rentals, classes, a retail store, an in-house cafe, and a VIP lounge. Join Copandero today for an unmatched shooting experience. To learn more, go to copandero.com. Did those alumni leadership roles help influence your approach to how you ran your businesses later on down the road?
Yes, they helped out. They were you had to really work with the people and kind of keep everybody satisfied and one thing or the other. So yes, it did.
Over your career, I'm curious, what is it that you've obviously been involved in a lot of different fields that involve customer service and keeping people happy. What do you think is, and I'm kind of in that role now, what is it that you think that's, you know, to young up-and-comers and future business leaders, what do you think about dealing with people and treating them with respect and customer service? What's kind of your philosophy on approach to customer service?
Well, I guess the main thing is just kind of listen to the people and see what they think. Don't tell them what you think or try to ram it down their throat.
Sure.
Just, get their ideas and work with them.
Yeah, that's kind of hard though when you know you're right sometimes.
True.
But it's, you know, my mama used to always say, God gave you two ears and one mouth for a reason. You need to listen more and talk less. And so that was something that always stuck with me, and especially down in my career when I started becoming a salesperson and doing different things like that, to more or less listen to the customer more than I talked. Now, you were also in the Texas Air National Guard and in the U.S. Air Force. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, when I was in school, they came along and started drafting again.
What year was this?
I guess it was 1947.
Okay.
And that was the Korean War.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to finish school. So I went to the Navy, a reserve, and they were full. And then I went to the Air Force, and thank God they took me. And so I joined the Air Force, and then I would once a week, I would go out to the Ellington Field one night a week for a couple hours, and we'd have our meetings. And then every summer they would take us for 2 weeks to a camp where we went into a program for that.
What was your role in the Air Force? What did you do?
Well, I was supposed to be an aircraft mechanic gunner,
Wow.
but they turned me over to a typewriter.
Typewriter. So you were in a desk job, huh? Yeah. How long did you do that?
Oh, about let's see, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, yeah. And so that helped you with your, I guess, with your education and get through school and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the luck was I just graduated from law school, and they called us active.
Okay.
So I guess I had 2 months from graduation before they took us on active duty.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's really good. So you did about 30 years in the field of law, and then you moved into a different area, hospitality and real estate management. How did you go from law to that completely different field?
Well, my wife's father and family were in hotel and real estate. And he asked me, he was getting old, and he asked me to kind of help him. And so I worked with him and helped him and to relieve him from a lot of his duties. And that kept growing and growing. And then when he passed away, then my mother-in-law asked me if I'd please take over And so that's when I took over the Auditorium Hotel, which is across the street from Jones Hall.
Okay.
Now it's now the Lancaster Hotel.
Okay.
And the D. George Hotel was a railroad hotel down by the railroad station over on the branch in Preston. And so I ran those hotels plus the real estate and so forth, and for about 25 years, plus practicing law. And then I got into other businesses, so I turned it over to another part of the family, let them run it.
Sounds to me like you were somebody who didn't like to sit still for very long.
No.
No, you were constantly going. Are you looking for an investment that goes beyond the ordinary? Wildlife Partners is the nation's leader in breeding and consulting for the exotic wildlife industry. When you invest in wildlife, you're not just acquiring a 100% tax-deductible asset, you're playing a vital role in the conservation of endangered species. Do you own land? You can turn your ranch into a profitable wildlife-driven business. And even if you don't own land, that's no problem. Wildlife Partners offers unique opportunities for non-landowners to invest in conservation while enjoying significant tax benefits and potential cash flow. Not knowing those properties, the Auditorium Hotel and the George Hotel, were those kind of grand hotels for their time, or they were just?
They were just, I guess, about third-class hotels.
Okay.
And that the family at that time didn't want to spend the money to remodel them.
Got it.
So then I leased the hotel in '83 to Bill Sharman, and he spent the money on the hotel and remodeled it beautifully. And he leased it from the family and spent the money on it. And then when we divided the estate, there were 3 daughters, and my wife was one of them. So they decided to divide the estate. And I wanted the hotel, and I didn't get it. We flipped a coin. We flipped a coin, and I lost.
Well, Mr. Toomey, you're an attorney now. That surprises me you agreed to flip a coin. Seems like you'd have negotiated that hotel.
I tried my damnedest. I had a hard head on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, matters of money and family, they always get kind of complicated. So from there, and people are going to know these names, you had a Coney Island.
Coney Island off the square. We had some vacant land when I ran the properties in the hotel.
Yeah.
And this was on Main Street 110, and it was vacant. So I decided to put a Coney Island in there, and I did. And then about 3 years later, we had next to the hotel, we had another building that was vacant, and I decided it was across the street from the Alley Theater. And I decided to put a restaurant in there called the Green Room.
Okay.
And then when I had turned the estate over to other family members, as I call the estate, the properties and so forth, then I had bought some property at 110 Westheimer, and I put a Houlihan's hamburger joint in there.
Okay.
And it had folk music at night, and had little hamburgers at lunch and nighttime, and people liked it. Seemed to be good, a neighborhood little place, so
Yeah.
it worked out.
I've been in the restaurant business as a manager, when I was younger. That's a time-consuming business. I mean, you got to be there all the time, don't you?
Yeah, you're right, very much so. All Coney Island, I had a good manager, but still you spend a lot of hours there. The same thing with the Green Room. I'd work till 11 o'clock at night at the Green Room, and that got awful tiresome.
Yeah.
And Houlihan's, the same thing. I'd serve beer and hamburgers.
Yeah. I've never known anybody that didn't own restaurants that just didn't spend most of their life up there, even though they had good management teams. I mean, you got to be there. You got to watch all the details and make sure it's run right. What was the Green Room? What kind of restaurant was that?
It was surprisingly at noon I'd serve barbecue.
Really?
Yeah, and nighttime was a tablecloth type of an operation.
Okay, so you flip it.
Flip
A little fancier at night.
Yeah.
Do you like to cook? Have you always cooked?
No.
No, you just been involved in the restaurant business. Let the other people do the cooking.
Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Hunting Matters is presented by DEA Ranch. Are you looking for the ultimate South Texas hunting experience? Then look no further than DEA Ranch. DEA Ranch offers some of the best whitetail and exotic game hunts in South Texas year-round. Whether you're looking to fill your freezer or put that next hunting memory on the wall, their professional guides are focused on ensuring each client has a memorable and exciting hunting experience. DEA Ranch offers guided hunts, professional staff, chef-prepared meals, trophy preparation, and more. To learn more, go to dearanch.com. That's dearanch.com.
And when you say the Coney Island, is that the same Coney Island we know today? I don't guess there's many of them around.
Yeah, it was James Coney Island,
Yeah.
and was doing very well, and they were way down south of the city. And I thought because of that, I'd be north of the city by the courthouse and everything. And inexpensive meals that appealed to the courthouse gang, and it did. It was successful.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife before we moved to Houston a few years back, she used to always go, we got to stop at James Coney Island and get a hot dog or something there. She used to just love it. So I was just curious to know if they were connected. So J-Bar-M BBQ, that's where I first met you. You guys were just been open. The first time we met, we came out there and we're looking at about doing an event out there. How did that start? How did that come to being?
Well, again, I had to, when we split the properties, I got the property, the block there where the J-Bar-M is, and I was in the barbecue business at Green Room during the daytime.
Right.
And I always liked barbecue, and I thought, well, this would work out and so forth. So I decided to go ahead and do it and got an architect and talked to the family about it and so forth. And had them draw up the building and the barbecue pits and all, just kind of grew from there. But I thought it'd just be a natural. If I had the property there, why not use it?
Mm. So the J-Bar-M is kind of unique. You guys, the offerings there are different. I mean, you got your traditional Texas barbecue there, which everybody knows Texas barbecue is best in the world. So we'll go ahead and say that. And sorry, don't want to offend anybody from South Carolina or whatever, but Texas barbecue is king. You guys, that is a beautiful place. The food is incredible. You've got an outdoor area for entertaining. Was that all part of your vision when you guys started building and working with the architect?
Well, actually, I wanted a patio, the beer garden, but I wasn't planning on putting a top on it.
Yeah.
And then the fellow that owned the lot down by I didn't own two lots. One of them I still don't own in the block, but the one block, it came to me and wanted to sell, so I bought it. So that kind of changed things up. So we call the back part of the patio hula hands, and the other place we call the green room. So that's how it kind of grew, and then we decided because of weather and one thing and the other, put a roof on the hula hands, and kind of spruced up the green room, and that's the way it came about.
Yeah, and you guys have a meeting room there. You can host corporate events and all kind of stuff. And if I don't want to misquote which the award is, but you guys are an award-winning barbecue restaurant, aren't you? Over at J-Bar-M.
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of awards have you guys won?
We were recommended by Michelin.
Michelin, that's what it was.
I'm really happy with that.
Yeah.
And we were recommended also by Texas Monthly.
I remember the Texas Monthly one. Yeah. That Michelin's kind of a big deal, though.
Yeah, so we're very proud of it.
Yeah. Do you have family working in the restaurant and runs it day to day, or how does it run day to day?
Well, my Charles, my grandson, he was running taking care of the real estate for the estate. So he looks after that and rents it out and leases it and deals with it. I turn that over to him. And so he comes down there every day, about 3 or 4 hours, and to green room. I mean, J-Bar-M.
Yeah.
And we deal with things. We have business meetings once a week, and he's very involved in it. He likes it very much.
So are you there a lot?
No, I'm not. About 3 hours a day.
Okay. Nobody wants to imagine an emergency on a hunting trip, but when the unexpected happens, you want the team of medical and security experts at Global Rescue to be there for you. Global Rescue Operations Centers are staffed by experienced personnel, and you'll always speak to an expert on the first call. Global Rescue provides unparalleled capabilities to transport members to the hospital of their choice, not just the closest. So trade what ifs for peace of mind with convenient travel services designed for the unexpected. Learn more at globalrescue.com/hunting matters. Well, that's a lot at 97 to be, have to get down and go to the restaurant for 3 hours a day. It's not like you're staying there till 11 o'clock at night, but do you think that is something that kind of keeps you going all the time? It's just purpose?
I think so. I think I've always been active, and I want to be active. So yes, I agree with you. I think it keeps me active and keeps me interested. And I think it helps my health.
Yeah, absolutely. Where'd y'all come up with the name?
I've decided on J-Bar-M. In fact, I originally came up with M-Bar-J. And everybody said M for my wife, Michaeline.
Yeah.
J for me, John.
Yeah.
But everybody said, no, the M-Bar-J does not rhyme. Go for the J-Bar-M.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it does kind of flow off the tongue a little bit easier.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a neat story. So you got the J-Bar-M, and you've done the law thing and real estate and been involved in the restaurant business, but there was something else you sold cars for a long time too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Again, a friend of a friend came to me and told me about Toyota. My brother-in-law was in the car business in Yorktown, Texas, and then I negotiated with Ford Motor Company. He wanted to come to Houston. His wife was a Houston girl. And so I negotiated with Jeff Curran with Ford here, and we worked out a deal where he bought half of Ivy Russell Ford.
Okay.
And so he took that over. And so I do a little bit about car business, and I enjoyed it. And a friend of mine came to me and told me about Toyota, and that another friend of ours was a general manager at that time. So I was very excited. So I found out they had, gave me a dealership in New Orleans, and I went over there and they introduced me. And the two New Orleans dealers got real upset, and they ran to the Louisiana Commission and had them stop me until we went through the proper procedure and all of this kind of baloney. And then the next thing I know, about 6 months later, a fella called me, my banker in New Orleans, and said that he was sorry I lost the dealership. So somebody had snuck under me and got the dealership in New Orleans. So anyway, I then got on the trail and found out that Alamo Toyota was for sale in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And I bought that. And then a year later, I worked with the general manager of Toyota, Gulf States Toyota. You would come up to the green room of all places and have lunch, and I got to know him pretty well. So he helped me buy Tejas Toyota.
Okay.
So I had those two dealerships, one in Houston, one in San Antonio, and enjoyed them very much. And I got in that because of the kids. None of them want to become a lawyer.
Right.
And so I kind of like my father, I was finding something for them to do. So I was very happy about that. And I had 4 of my sons in the business with me.
Wow. And you were in the car business for what, 50 years or so?
50 years.
How do you stay successful in the car business for 50 years? I mean, is it just good customer service, or is it just
Yes, both the customer service, taking care of the people, having a hell of a product, which Toyota does,
Yeah.
and they're very successful. I started off, they weren't selling but maybe, I guess it used to 100 cars a month. And the steering wheels are so hard to turn, and the whole thing was just really a joke. But they kept working on it to where they got the best car right now in the world, and very successful. So I just kind of grew with them.
Did you have to deal with the guys in Japan directly, or
No,
no? You
the
just
fact they refused to let you go near them.
really,
Yeah.
yeah. That was a different time.
In the heart of nature, give your deer the nutrition they deserve with Record Rack Deer Feeds. The premium feeds support antler growth and overall herd health. Whether you're a wildlife enthusiast or a dedicated hunter, Record Rack Deer Feeds provide essential nutrients for a thriving herd. Choose Record Rack Deer Feeds for optimal deer nutrition. Visit recordrack.com to learn more.
You know, you're involved in a lot of stuff, different things at different times in your life. Sometimes a bunch of stuff all at the same time. How did you balance all of that without overextending yourself? I'm just curious because
Oh, I enjoyed all of it. It was really a pleasure. I didn't have hardly any bad businesses or things that I didn't like. I liked the hotel business. I liked the real estate. I liked the restaurant business, and I liked the car business. All of them were things I liked.
yeah,
And my feeling is that if it's a pleasure, then you really enjoy it.
yeah. Well, they always say you gotta love what you're doing, or it just becomes a job. Except for those scoundrels in Louisiana that you had to deal with, but we all know politics over there. My mother was a state employee for 25 years, so I have a little bit of inside information on politics in Louisiana. She used to always say, "I'll vote for the." She was a conservative, but she says sometimes I have to vote for the Republicans because I know if the Republicans get in office, we get a pay raise. So you did all these things. You obviously loved everything you did. Let's talk a little bit about your hunting journey. I know you hadn't hunted in quite a while, but how did you get started in hunting outside of shooting that 22 at turtles? When did you start getting into real hunting?
Well, my brother liked to hunt birds, and I picked up because of that. And I drive out to the rice fields and so forth and try to shoot some birds when I finally got a car. And I enjoyed the heck out of it. Was a lousy shot. And so we would get 2 or 3 of us to go out there. And then I got into dove hunting and enjoyed that. And then in the car business, the second year I was in the car business, Gulf States Toyota, who was our distributor, was owned by Tom Freakin.
Yeah.
And Tom Freakin owned Safari South. And had in Botswana, he had a big area that the government gave him, and he had about 5 or 6 professional hunters. Anyway, he decided to have a contest among his dealers, and the one that won would go to Botswana for a 21-day hunt.
Yeah.
Well, as I looked out, I won the contest. And the funny thing about that was that the hunter, Don Lindsay, that was my professional hunter, came to Houston, and we met and talked over what I should do for the hunt and how to prepare and all of this stuff. So he says, keep walking, do jogging, do everything, because you do an awful lot of walking in Africa. And I said, okay, fine. Well, he forgot to mention learn how to shoot. So as a result, when I got over there, I couldn't hit my butt. And out of about 20 animals I tried for, I only got about 10 of them. And so that was the beginning of it, but I enjoyed it so much And it was so much fun, the camp and the whole thing, that I always wanted to go back and learn how to shoot. And then I
Are
would
you
come
looking
back,
for a
which
smarter
I
way
did.
to manage your document imaging and print environment? Dex Imaging delivers industry-leading printers, copiers, and fully managed print services designed to cut costs, boost productivity, and simplify your workflow. Whether you're a small business or a Fortune 500 company, Dex provides personalized local service with the power of a national network so you get fast, reliable support wherever you are. Dex gives back, proudly supporting organizations like Houston Safari Club Foundation by giving through profit sharing. Dex Imaging, smarter technology, exceptional service, proven results. Visit deximaging.com or email Adam Montgomery at adam.montgomery@deximaging.com. Yeah, first time to Botswana was when?
73 or 4.
Okay. Was it dangerous back then?
No, it was okay. The Mau Mau in Zimbabwe, I hunted there too, and that was a strange thing. I hunted a guy a ranch, a personal ranch, and he had about 100,000 acres. And I stayed in his house. Behind his house, he had a building, I guess a building, and it had slit windows up at the top. And I asked about that, and he said that's because of Mau Mau. And he had peacocks in the yard, so if anybody came at nighttime close, the peacocks would make a whole bunch of noise.
Really?
So that's how they lived for about 3 or 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And he had a wife, 2 kids, and that was a great hunt. God, that was a good hunt. I could hunt then to shoot. And I shot 20 animals and just wounded one, and then finally caught up with it about a week later. But beautiful country, beautiful animals.
What were you hunting there? What kind of animals?
I hunted all kinds of plains game. He didn't have any elephant, didn't have any lion, leopard, just all plains game.
Yeah. Have you ever hunted dangerous game?
Yes, when I was in Tanzania, the first hunt, I wounded a lion, and we came back the next day, and he keeps circling around this area, and we'd keep staying behind him and all and so forth. Finally, we put one of the hunters at one place, and we kept circling, and then sure as hell the lion did stop there, and the hunter knocked him down. So I guess that's a 50% for me.
Yeah.
But then in Tanzania, I got a lion. I got him myself, a leopard,
Wow.
and an elephant, 40-pound tusk. So
Wow.
that
All
was
on the same trip?
a great hunt. Really
That's-
enjoyed that hunt.
That's quite the hunt. Were you a world traveler before that, or was that kind of when?
Yeah, no, I've traveled a lot. I've been to
Gunworks just launched a new rifle system. It's called Index.
Okay.
It's sized for adventure and engineered for extremes. With barrel lengths as short as 16 inches and a folding stock that collapses to an ultra-short profile, the Gunworks Index fits nicely in a UTV, a float plane, or across the seat of your truck without sacrificing accuracy. The Index features a built-in ARCA and pick rail for use on tripod or bipod, and a night vision rail to ensure you're ready for any scenario. The Gunworks Index delivers magnum capability in the most compact chassis rifle system on the market. Visit gunworks.com to learn more.
Yeah. What is it that you love about Africa and those surrounding areas?
It's a whole different bag than anything you'll encounter. It's different people, different style, different life.
Yeah.
And they're always very friendly people.
Right. Right. What's your favorite place in the world to visit that you've been to outside of Africa?
I'd say London or Paris.
London or Paris? Yeah. Yeah. I've been to both. I was my first time in Paris was back when I was younger and I could run. I was there on business. We'd jog. Next thing you know, we jogged 6 or 7 miles just looking. Didn't even realize we'd run that far because there was so much to see. But I was just curious because I know you've done stuff in Botswana and Tanzania and all those places, and I was just curious about travel. Have you always loved to travel?
Yes.
Yeah. So you were talking earlier about bird hunting. Tell us who your bird hunting partner was back then. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Father Houlihan and I go back. We met at the KC Hall at the bar.
For those of you watching, that's the Knights of Columbus Hall. Yeah.
And so I'm sitting at the bar having a beer, and he came up next to me, and we got talking, and that led to one thing or the other. And we became the best of friends. We went every place that we could together when he wasn't working. And he started off at a parish in northeast Houston,
Okay.
Lady of Sorrows, and I would help him out with some people who would have problems, legal problems, and I'd help them out with no charge. And we became very close, and we would then started talking about hunting, and so we would find a place in South Texas, which was hard to do because I didn't have any leases, and would kind of go around and try to find somebody to let us hunt their land. But then we really hit it was in Mexico. He spoke excellent Spanish, and we hunted close to the border, about 40 miles down, and we'd stay at a motel in Brownsville, and then go over at night and have dinner at Matamoros and all. And then the birds moved on, and we moved on down to San Fernando, about 125 miles down. And we hunted a lot of birds there.
Yeah.
But then besides that, I took him to Argentina twice on bird hunts, Uruguay, Honduras. The last hunt we went on, a big one, was the last time I went to Tanzania. I took 3 of my sons, and they hunted animals, and Father and I hunted birds. And so he really enjoyed that. We had a good, great hunt there. So I guess that's about it. But he was a hell of a shot. God, he could shoot.
Yeah.
He was always way ahead of me. If you had a limit, he'd be through in 10 minutes. And
Really?
be struggling for half an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
A bird hunting priest. I've never seen it.
Oh, man, he could do it.
He could do it. Where was he from originally? Was he from here, Texas?
He was from New York. He was born there, and then his family moved to Chicago.
Okay.
And then he came down here and became an oblate in San Antonio. Then he worked a parish in northeast Houston when he got out, when he was ordained. And then he wanted to go into prison. So he went down to South Texas and operated as a prison chaplain.
Really?
And he had kind of a route. He had about 5 prisons that he'd
Yeah.
go to. And he'd come by the house Sunday evening so tired he'd fall asleep before he could eat. And then he went to La Tuna in El Paso with the federal government as a chaplain.
Wow.
And then they turned him over to Arizona, where he was a head charge of the chaplains for the 1/3 of the United States. And then they made him the head of all the chaplains, prison chaplains in the United States. And he was in Washington about 10 years.
Wow.
And that's where we had a hard time hunting.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. This episode of the Hunting Matters podcast is brought to you by B&B Taxidermy. Since 1983, the Baird family at B&B Taxidermy have been the premier experts in trophy mounts. Whether it's African, North American, global, or exotic, B&B Taxidermy will provide design, artistry, and attention to detail that you won't find anywhere else. B&B Taxidermy can also design and decorate your trophy room, showcase, or office with custom dioramas built to suit your space. Check out their showroom of exotic trophies on Jones Road in Houston, or visit their website at bbtaxidermy.com. B&B Taxidermy, proud supporters of the Hunting Matters podcast and Houston Safari Club Foundation. Wow, sounds like you guys both have led incredible lives. That's pretty amazing. The name Houlihan, was that the name of the restaurant? You named it after him?
Yeah.
That's where it came from. I was trying to connect the dots there when I was reading about you, and I thought surely that's probably where it came from. But What did he? What did? So you guys were friends for a long time.
Oh yeah, God, yes. I guess 50, 60 years.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe he got put a little extra blessing on you occasionally to help you with your business, and
We both like beer.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, beer drinking, bird shooting priest. That sounds like a good movie to me, or a book. So you know you built this legacy with business and civic leadership, and military service, and obviously your time in the outdoors, and you know I know a lot of people they could care less what other people think about them, but you know what what kind of legacy you know do you hope to leave behind? Obviously, you've led a very exciting life. You've done a bunch of different things. What do you think your legacy will be?
I really don't know what it would be. I lost my wife some 15 years ago, and I missed her every day.
Sure.
And we were very close. I had 5 sons, and I've lost 3 of them. 2 of them were kind of expected, but the one of them, the last one, was really totally, he fell and hit his head.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
And so now I've only got 2 sons left, and that's kind of a hard deal. But
Yeah,
I turned everything over to the family, so I have nothing left in my name.
yeah,
So I don't know. I just hope that they would work in the same type of deal I did. That's why I got in the car business for them, and they really enjoyed that. They did a great job. And now the 3 of them that were in the car business passed away in the last 5 years.
yeah,
And I had just my one youngest son, Richard, that was still in the business, and that's why we sold him,
okay,
because he didn't want to retire anyway.
yeah,
And that gave me a chance to go ahead and divvy up everything and take care of it. And
right,
so I'm pretty well set, I think, as far as where I am right now. I think I've got everything I pray worked out, and everybody seems about as what we can do.
yeah. Well, as we wrap up today, you know, obviously, my grandmother lived to be almost 101 years old, and she was still active up until the day she passed away, teaching Bible study and all kind of other things. You know, people that are watching or listening to our program, what advice would you leave as we kind of wrap up today to not only lead in a successful life, but it sounds like you've led a meaningful life as well. Is there any advice that you'd pass along to the younger generation coming up about living a meaningful life? Because obviously, you know, you've given back a lot of pro bono work in law, and you've done a lot of things and helped a lot of people over your life. And just kind of curious to hear your perspective on what you think it takes to lead a meaningful life.
I think helping other people, and when you can and what you can do, and working with them, and again listening to see what they need and what they want and so forth, rather than try to run their lives. Just kind of advise and step back and let them have at it. But I think it's very important too, also, to find what you like and what you enjoy. And I think that makes altogether difference in the world. Like I told you earlier, I've enjoyed everything that I've done, the different work and different professions. So I think that's extremely important to do that. And then again, help people when you can, work with them, and anything you can to make their lives better.
I respect that, and I appreciate that.
The Houston Safari Club Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that supports the future of hunting and conservation. Wildlife and habitat conservation, youth education and outdoor experiences, scholarships, and anti-poaching efforts are just a few of the programs supported by this organization. monthly events, an annual convention, award-winning publications, networking opportunities, and valuable resources for hunting knowledge are just a few of the benefits of being a member of Houston Safari Club Foundation. If you're searching for a group of people dedicated to protecting the future of hunting, look no further. Join Houston Safari Club Foundation today at wehuntwegive.org or call 713-623-8844.
Mr. John Toomey's been our guest today, folks. Tell you what, if you want to get some good barbecue, check out the J-Bar-M BBQ restaurant, and you can check out their website at J-Bar-M BBQ.com. That's J-Bar-B-A-R-M BBQ, BBQ.com. Mr. Toomey, it's been an absolute honor and pleasure to have you here this week. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
You
I
bet.
really enjoyed it.
Good, sir. We appreciate you being here. Folks, that's it for us this week. We'll see you on the next episode of Hunting Matters, brought to you by the Houston Safari Club Foundation. Have a great week. Hunting Matters is a Houston Safari Club Foundation production. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. For questions or more information, email us at info@wehuntwegive.org.